Hi guys, good morning. So today we're going to be starting our book. So there are two things I want you to make sure that you have before we start this video. I want you to make sure that you have your book, A Long Walk to Water. Everybody should have this book now. I want you to go find it, get it, and bring it back to your computer or your tablet or whatever you're using. And I want you to get a notebook. We're going to be writing in this today. You need to write in a notebook with me, okay? You need to do this with me. A lot of you have not been taking notes like you're supposed to, and if you don't start doing it, I'm going to start taking all notes for a grade. So I need to start seeing evidence that you are doing what you're supposed to do. Just because you're not at school does not mean that you are allowed to do whatever you want. All right? So, take a minute, pause this video, go get your book and a notebook. Okay? I'm going to give you a minute so that you can pause the video and go do that. All right, now that you've had time to do that, I'm going to show you how to set up your notebooks. All right? We're going to be using them throughout the whole time we're reading this book. So it's really important that you have one, that you start at the beginning, and that you keep it organized. If you've already been writing in a notebook for this class, it's fine to use not the first page. I'm using the same notebook that I've been using the whole time. So you guys can do the same thing, right? So the first thing we're gonna do is at the top, I taught you guys, we always write the topic at the top. Today, our topic is a long walk to water. And I'm going to write pre-reading. So in case you don't know what pre-reading is, pre means before something. So this means before we read. Before we read the book, there are a couple of things we need to make sure that we understand. So the next thing I want you to do is I want you to write today's date. The date will be different for you than it is for me because I have to film these in the past. So I don't write the date on them whenever I'm filming them just in case I mess it up. So I don't want to confuse you. So write your date up here and then write your name here. So in case I need to see a picture of it, I'll know who it belongs to. So I'm going to write Miss Heather on mine. All right? So before we start, before we even touch our book, there are 3 words I want us to define. So I need to tell you what they mean. So write them with me. The first one we're going to talk about is infer. Infer. So to infer something means to take something from text or pictures and combine it with something you already know to figure out what the text or picture might mean. So I'm going to take a minute to write that. And I'm not going to talk a lot while I write or I will mess up what I'm trying to write. So take something from text or pictures and combine it with something you already know to figure out what the text or picture might mean. So basically what this means is that you're gonna take what you already know about a topic, just the things you know in general, and you're going to be able to look at something and make guesses or predictions about what something is about. I want you to define this because we're gonna do this later in this lesson. So I want you to make sure that you have this written down. If you need to, pause it and copy it from the video. If you can't see very clearly because maybe your video isn't loaded all the way or something's going on, I'll also post a picture of it to help you guys see it a little bit clearer. So make sure that you have this written down. Our next definition is determine. To determine something means to decide after studying something. So I might tell you to read a paragraph and determine what the paragraph is about. I might ask you to look at a picture and determine what the picture is of. That's what determine means. We're going to be using this one again later. So make sure that you have this written down, just like last time. And then let's move on to the last one. Our last word is representation. I messed mine up. So whenever you mess something up, just draw a line through it instead of squiggling like a crazy person. That makes it easier to read when you look back at it. There we go. Representation. Representation is the act of showing or symbolizing something. So when something represents something else, it just means that it shows you something else. That one will make a little bit more sense later. All right, I'm going to highlight these three words. You can highlight them if you want to. You can outline them with a colored pencil. I'm just doing this to make it easier for you to see on the camera, because I know that sometimes it's a little difficult to see. And I will be posting a picture of this so that you can see it later. All right, let's get into our activity for today now that we've defined three important words. We're going to be doing an activity called I Notice, I Wonder activities. So I'm going to write about the map. So what I need you to do is I need you to copy this, and then I need you to grab your book. I need you to open up to the very front of your book. There'll be the cover page with your number and our stamp. It'll say A Long Walk to Water. And then on the very next page, there should be a map and a big A Long Walk to Water. We're going to be looking at this map, okay? So now that you have the map out, I'm going to move my book so that I can write and you can see it. We're going to make a chart. So one side of your paper, I want you to write I notice and 3 dots. Then on the other side of your paper, I want you to write I wonder and 3 dots. Then you're going to draw a line underneath them. You're going to draw a line down the middle. You might have to make your chart bigger than mine. So like this piece needs to be longer than mine. I'm just doing this because I'm not going to fill out as much as you, because I want you to do this on your own. So, in a red pen, I'm going to write so that you know you don't have to write this. So things in red, you don't have to write. So in the I notice section, I want you to write about things that you can see and that you can understand. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to look at this map and you're going to say, what can I understand? What do I already know based on this map? Most of you had geography with me last year, so you know some things. You know that this is a key or a legend, and it tells you how to read the map. So you know that there are mountains, hills, swamplands, plains, deserts, rivers, and there's something down here that says route. So then you can look at this map, and because you know that these are mountains, you can find the mountains. Since you know this is swampland, you can find the swampland. You also know that there's a title at the bottom and a year. You know that there's a picture here of Africa, so that probably means something. And there are country names like Sudan, Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda. It says Northern Sudan and Southern Sudan. So you can look at this map and figure some things out. There's some stuff that I won't have to tell you about here. The other side of the map is called I wonder. So in the I wonder section of the map, you write questions you have based on what you see. So anything on that map that you don't understand, you can write in the I wonder section. You could say things like, I wonder why it's a map of Africa. You could be more complicated. You could say, I wonder what the route is. Things like that. So anything that you're curious about. Now, I want you to put at least 3, so 3 or more answers for both sections. Let's say for each section. So I want you to have at least 3 here. 1, 2, 3. And I want you to have at least 3 here. 2, 3. You can have more than 3, but if you have less than 3, I'm not going to give you credit, okay? So, you're going to do this today, and you're going to do one more thing. You're going to have a response question. So I'm going to write your response question for you. Can you guess what this book might be about based on the things we looked at? So I want you to guess what you think the book is going to be about. All right? So your job is to do the I notice, I wonder chart using the map. So looking at this, and I want you to give me your answer, your guess, on what you think this book might be about. Okay? Those are the two things I want you to do today. And you will need to turn them in by tomorrow. Okay? So you will have today, Monday, and tomorrow, Tuesday, to work on this and send me a picture of it. Alright? So you have to take a picture of your notes and send it to me. And I need to see that you're taking notes, because there are a lot of you who are not. Alright? So I will take a clear picture of this and post it with this video so that you can see it. And this explains your activity for tomorrow. Let me know if you have any questions or if you don't understand the map, and I'll be happy to help you. Have a good day, guys.